Advice please. My, 25F, boyfriend, 30M, hates my best friend, 27M. Hello. Sorry for any mistakes. English is not my first language. When my boyfriend and I started dating, I immediately introduced my best friend, 28M. Our relationship is purely platonic and we both see each other as family. We've been in each other's lives more than 5 years and nothing ever happened between the two of us. The difference between us, my boyfriend and I, is that I have male and female friends and he mostly male, so he has told me that he doesn't understand. At the beginning my boyfriend didn't have any problem with him, they actually got along pretty well. They have similar hobbies, so I had the idea they were actually bonding. 6 months into it, he started acting weird. Every time I would have any plans with he didn't say anything, just get super angry at me. I was really confused because I didn't realize it was because of As I mentioned before, they were getting along so far and he blamed it on anything but that. He never said anything. At some point he completely exploded and told me it was because of He thought we were doing something behind his back. I try to talk to him but he gets very unreasonable and it's impossible to reach him. And that's my problem. I understand to a point that maybe he's uncomfortable with my relationship with What is driving me crazy is that I try to talk to him and understand what he needs. I offered him to talk about it. I offered him to spend more time with so he can get a better idea of how our relationship works. I offered to sit down with him and re-establish boundaries with my friend so he can feel more comfortable. I've even asked him if he's expecting me to drop my friend. Everything I try he gets defensive and says I'm calling him controlling. I had a very toxic and abusive relationship before and I cut contact with most of my friends. When I finally got out I was completely alone and it was really hard for me. That's why I'm open to work on it, but I don't want to choose between them. At one point he told me he doesn't want to know anything about my friendship, so I keep it completely to myself. But there's also times when he tells me I'm hiding it and not been transparent because I don't mention him. I hate this feeling of walking on eggshells, hoping my friend won't text or appear because it's going to cause a fight. As I mentioned before, I can put myself in his shoes, but he doesn't want to fix the problem and I don't know what else to do. I am kind of worried because the problems appear again with other male friends, but he doesn't want to work or talk about it. I would appreciate any advice on how to manage this for the best. Edit. I saw a lot of comments about not spending enough time with my boyfriend, so I wanted to clarify a few things. 1. We are long distance. I understand this makes it more difficult, but most of the problems start when we are together in the same place. We are talking about moving in together, which hopefully will help with insecurities. But I'm worried this behavior is going to continue with every man that appears in my life. 2. My boyfriend is always my priority, so I obviously prioritize spending time and connecting with him. I have no problem compromising, I just want him to communicate it with me. I kind of put some space between and I. My boyfriend didn't ask me to, but I honestly want to avoid conflict. I don't see him, a lot, maybe once every 2 weeks. We usually talk over text or reels on IG, maybe a phone call now and then. I try to go out in the friend group. It's very rare that we go out only the two of us. Not because something will happen, only because I thought that this will make my boyfriend more comfortable. But as I mentioned, my boyfriend shuts down and doesn't want to talk about it, so I've been doing what I think is best. 3. He does have girlfriends. Sorry for the confusion. Maybe they're not as close as mine, and also most of them are in relationships, so maybe he feels more comfortable with that. I have no problem with him having girlfriends and I actually like all of them. There are 2 categories of people. Those who believe that men and women can be friends and those who don't believe it. Both categories defend their beliefs vigorously and won't change them for nothing. Here is the problem now. You belong in the first category, your boyfriend belongs in the second one. That rarely, if not ever, works out well. I'm sorry, but it's a dead end. If he refuses to have the conversation, I do not think there is much you can do. If you had to choose between them, who would you choose? Because it may come to that. Your best friend wants to smash. Your boyfriend probably picked up on the non-verbal communication where he can see your best friend showing the signs. Yeah, good luck, he won't be happy until you cast your friend. Your beliefs are just fundamentally different. 63M, caught my wife, 55F, of 30 years in the back seat of a car with another woman. Recently, I came home from work and my wife and the dog were gone, so I assumed they had gone for a walk. Since more time than usual had passed, I looked at a location app which our family has on their phones. It showed her location as not moving for over 10 minutes, and, fearing something might have happened, I jumped on my bike and rode to the location, which was a side street next to an irrigation ditch not too far from our house. It's much faster to reach this location by bike than car because I can cut across a field to get there. As I arrived at the general location and rode down the street, I noticed a newer car parked at the curb on the opposite side, and as I went by, a head popped up from the back seat as if I had disturbed someone making out in the car. I continued coasting past looking for my wife or dog, but since I didn't see them ahead of me, I turned back. Then something made me stop and look at the car. The girl that had popped up was looking kind of over her shoulder at me. Then approximately 30 seconds after that, another female head popped up. It was as if she had been lying down facing upward with her head in the lap of the other. I couldn't see anything below windowsill level, but it was my wife that had been laying down. She looked over and saw me and had what I can only describe as an "oh shit" look, after which she exited the car with our dog and walked over to me with what I interpreted as a guilty, maybe ashamed, or, "I don't want to tell you, look." I didn't know what to say, so I told her that I had been worried something happened to her, and I asked if there was anything she wanted to tell me. She answered by saying that nothing happened, and that they had just been talking. This response bothered me later as I really didn't accuse her of anything. I then asked her if she wanted me to take the dog so she could finish her conversation. She said yes, but didn't say anything like, "I won't be long." I was too shocked to do anything but take the dog home. I waited at home for around 45 minutes. Before she arrived. When she did, she asked me if there was anything I wanted to ask her. So I asked her point blank if she was having a relationship with this person. She replied that there was nothing going on, and that she just felt that she had a close connection with this person, and that she really enjoyed talking with her. She then said again that she had just been talking and that nothing was going on beyond that. I told her what I saw, but she said that she had just been laying her head on her friend's knee. When I asked her to see things from my point of view, i.e., spouse laying down in the back seat of a parked car in a secluded location with a person that I hadn't met, it just seemed sneaky to me. She agreed that it did seem strange and that she would be suspecting me if the roles were reversed. But beyond that, she just acted as if her emotions were in check, and when she spoke it was 1 or 2 words at a time. She then told me that she's been feeling lost in life lately, and that talking to this person has helped. My gut tells me I'm right in thinking that there is more to this, and that she isn't telling me the whole truth. But I don't know what to do. This happened yesterday and I only slept a couple hours last night with my stomach churning as I lay awake. I don't have any female friends that I can talk to for perspective on this. I want to believe her, when she tells me that she is telling me everything. But there are just too many little things that keep replaying in my head. What are your thoughts? Thoughts? I'm thinking of cake eaters. You know, enjoy the economic and emotional security of their spouse, but also want the fresh excitement of an affair. I'm also thinking divorce. She had the chance to confess but took you for a fool. Talking can be accomplished just as easily in the front seats of a car. There is no reason to lay down to talk. Honestly? At the very least it's an emotional affair, at the most it's a physical affair. Regardless, if my husband did this, I don't know if I would believe his explanation if it were the same as what she told you. If she needs someone to talk to, with, fine. But in a car, in the backseat, on a secluded side road? That's not an innocent act. At the very least, she seems to be having an emotional affair. Sir, you know exactly what is going on here. I don't think I need to explain the myriad of reasons why it is exactly that, because I'm certain you already know. And the lost in life lie? That's a segue to spending more time with her friend, without having to hide now that she's been caught. You're hip to her BS, so don't let her make a fool out of you. I understand you are probably still in shock, but come on, you know exactly what is happening. She's having an affair and you caught her. You actually gave her time to come up with a story with her AP and let them possibly finish the deed. It's awful she is still lying to your face and trying to make you believe you didn't see what you saw. Gather yourself and put your foot down. Demand to know who this person is, how they met, and how long this had been going on. Everything she is doing and saying is pointing to an affair. When she says she's been lost, she is saying she has caught feelings for this person and didn't know how to tell you. She is questioning her sexuality maybe. My 37M wife, 36F, kept a secret. Twice. My wife and I started dating in high school. We've been married over 10 years and I'd say the relationship has been consistent and solid. About a year ago, my wife confessed that while we were engaged, A coworker had come onto her pretty hard and tried to get her to break off the marriage. Obviously she didn't, but she felt guilty about having doubts and not telling him off more forcefully. I didn't like hearing about the situation, but I also wasn't surprised guys were hitting on her at work. She worked at a restaurant at the time and is a beautiful lady. She said nothing happened between them and she never said anything to him to indicate she reciprocated. I believed her and told her she shouldn't feel so guilty about it. We were quite young, so to have some doubts seemed normal. And we had many years between then and now to prove where her heart was. I asked her if there was anything else and she said no. Fast forward to this weekend, things seemed a little off. She is normally pretty affectionate, but this weekend has been a little over the top. It's Father's Day weekend, so I thought maybe she is just trying to make it special. I asked her a couple times if everything was okay and she assured me they were. Finally yesterday she told me she was feeling guilty again about the situation she confessed to me earlier. She reaffirmed nothing had happened but was beating herself up about the possibility she could have thrown what has become our life away. For some context, she is pregnant and that has affected her hormones, emotions. So part of me was just listening to let her talk this out, but I also felt like there was more to it. I pressed her and she said there was another incident where someone came onto her. Similarly, it was about a year before we married, but this time, it was a close friend of mine. She said she immediately told him she does not feel the same way and tried to forget about it. She didn't tell me because she knew it would either ruin my friendship with him or maybe I wouldn't believe her. I am very confident she is telling the truth when she says nothing happened between them and she dismissed him, but I feel betrayed that she didn't tell me. This person was a groomsman. We went on group vacations with him. For unrelated reasons my relationship with him has fizzled in the last few years, but we remained close for many years after this event. I feel like a sucker. I feel like my ability to trust her has been destroyed. I asked her with the first confession if there was anything else and she said no. I asked her several times this weekend what's up and she said nothing. I also feel betrayed that I wasn't told about this friend's intentions at the time. I'm not sure how to proceed. I really need to be able to trust my partner and it doesn't feel possible to do that with her right now. Am I overreacting to events that happened nearly 20 years ago? It's less that these things happened and more that she's kept them secret. I've told her how I feel and she is freaking out that I am going to leave her. I really don't want that, but at times it feels like a possibility. I am mad at her that I can even feel that way. I've never imagined that as a possibility. I don't want to separate, but I need to be able to trust my partner. Advice? Prepare for more trickle truth. Sorry, this doesn't make sense at all. I know other comments are saying that she's pregnant and she's feeling unattractive and blah blah. But what is motivating her to come out with these stories? Is the hormonal imbalance making her feel guilty for her past actions? Is this the start of trickle truth? Sure as hell sounds like it. You need to dig further. You're not getting the whole story. There is more to these events that she's not telling you, and considering she hid the fact that your friend was trying to get with her, it's going to be hard to trust her. What kind of partner lets their significant other friends with someone that they know for a fact has no respect for them? Keep pushing, man. You'll get to the truth eventually. Am I overreacting to events that happened nearly 20 years ago? Yes. I think you're forgetting the position she was in. Accusing your good friend of coming on to her? What if you hadn't believed her? What if she had misunderstood things? There are lots of reasons people keep stuff like that secret, sometimes good reasons. In the event that someone contacts you in the near future asking if you knew about guys' names here, you should not immediately dismiss them. Listen to what and all that they have to say, because you may only have the watered-down version. She's freaking because there is more. Get a paternity test. I, 30F, told a woman, 30s. F, about her cheating husband, 30s. M, breaking my BFFs, 30F, trust. I, 30F have become very close friends with two girls B, 29F, and C, 30F, over the past year. We hang out a lot and we call each other sisters. Their friendship is super important to me, but I worry I may have ruined it. C works at a library with this guy D, 30SM. They were flirting for 2 months before D confessed that he's actually married and cannot be with C in any way. This, of course, made C super sad, so we, B and I, comforted her when she told us this deep and emotional secret. Apparently, D saw C was sad at work and he apologized that he was the reason for her pain and said he just wanted to see her smile again and met her at a bar to clear the air about their situation. They flirted for hours. After the bar, he told her that he can't see her again, which made her sad, and we comforted her again. Fast forward to next workday. D noticed C was sad again, so he lamented that she's such a great girl and he's such a trash guy and she deserves so much better, and offered to take her somewhere to talk about their situation. They've been repeating this cycle for a while now. She is sad. He is guilty he made her sad, and he likes her attention, so he flirts with her and then takes her out. They flirt all night. Then he tells her they can't do this again and she's heartbroken again. Rinse, lather, repeat. I and B will race over to C's townhouse and comfort her about every 1-2 weeks after he's told her he can't meet up with her again and she's despondent again. She tells us everything they did and said, and I understand that I'm privileged for her to trust us with that information because that is personal, emotional, and a secret. Now, I've been cheated on and it broke my heart. I still struggle with insecurities and pain that my past partner's infidelity caused me. C knows this. Unfortunately, I know that makes this personal for me and I am very biased. But every week when C is crying, I can't stop thinking about D's poor wife. C was able to find D's Facebook and showed us. This last time, C admitted her and D's date got physical, and after comforting C, I couldn't sleep. I knew C and D were having an emotional affair, which is terrible, but having things get physical was too much for me. I made a dummy Facebook account, found D's fluorine monoboride, then found his wife's Facebook and I sent her a message. It was very short and I made it sound like I just witnessed D and some girl at a bar. I did this last night. C messaged me that D has blocked her, out of respect for his wife, and she is hurt. I'm going over tonight to tell her what I did. I'm concerned I may lose a really important friendship. I recognize I broke C's trust and she would be well within her rights to stop being my friend. I also understand B may feel the same and also cut ties with me for what I've done. I love C and B like a sister, but I couldn't sit and not say anything anymore. Is there anything I can do or say to help salvage these friendships? Too long did not read. My friend is emotionally and now physically cheating with a married man and telling me the secret and emotional details. I sent a short vague message to the wife to tip her off. Can I save this friendship? There's no legitimate need to tell her what you did. She's the one who chose to continue to be involved with a married man. Regardless of what they think, you did the right thing. D was cheating on his wife. So you actually want to be friends with someone who is cheating with a married man? Clearly you each have a different set of morality. The first time it happened it wasn't her fault, but every subsequent time she knew what she was doing. Good on you for alerting the wife. She knowingly put the clamp on a married man, milked you and B for emotional support, and has been the primary instigator in all of this by begging for D to see her. She doesn't deserve to know anything. Was she going to tell D's wife what they were doing? Lol, nope. Don't feel bad about not telling her anything because honesty and respect don't seem to be virtues she cares about. I wouldn't tell them.